Hey everybody, thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Heat Press Nation Live. My name's Jared and I am very excited about what we're going to be talking about today. Today's topic, as some of you guys might know, is profit in sportswear, which is really cool. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But first, I want to welcome you all. Do me a favor, let me know where you're tuning in from. We already got a couple comments here. Sylvia Goody, says sup. Ashley Nicole says hi, hello. Tara says hello, everybody. Marty saying hi. Ashley's here, everybody's here. Super excited to have you all today. I'm gonna be covering a bunch of stuff, all related to sportswear. So if you have any questions at all, please do me a favor, drop it in the comments below. I'll be answering questions live. And then my pal Ronnie is also in the comments. She'll be answering your questions too. So you're gonna get double teamed in the comments, all the great info that we have. We're gonna be ready to share it with you. Really quick, of course, you know, I gotta get through the preliminaries, but it's good information, trust me. So the first thing I want you to do, if possible, is if you're watching right now on YouTube, do me a favor, hit that like button and then subscribe to our channel. We got lots of really great content coming up for you. We put out new videos like 1 or 2 every week. So there's always fresh content coming from your pals here at Heat Press Nation, and I don't want you to miss out. I really don't. Lots of cool stuff here, lots of tutorials, lots of other really great content creators here at Heat Press Nation who are joining me on camera. So if you see Travis in a video, drop a like button for Travis. If you see Carlo, whoever else you see on camera, do me a favor, go like those videos. Make sure you're subscribing. And then on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, well, of course, por favor, like our page. Do me a favor, like the Heat Press Nation page, and then head on over to our Facebook group. It's right there on the screen, actually, if you want a shortcut to the group. You could just type that into your browser, heat.press/FB group. Again, right there on your screen. And then if you want to, or if you're already on Facebook, or if you're in the app, you could just go into the group section and then look up Heat Press Nation Creators. So Heat Press Nation, one word, Creators, the other word. Heat Press Nation Creators, that's gonna take you to our Facebook group. So many awesome people, so many awesome people are in the group, and it's really exciting, lots of great help. And you know what, and again, if you're in there, you'll see, I gotta do a better job of popping in the group lately. I've been missing from the group for a little bit, been on some other projects, but my pal Ronnie's been holding it down. So her and some of the other staff here at Heat Press Nation, always in there answering questions, and even when we're not in there, lots of really cool, helpful people. Like, I wish there was a better word than cool. Like, some of you, and you guys know who you are, you're always there in the comments, always being super helpful, and I love it. I love the community that we have going on there at the Heat Press Nation Creators Group. So yeah, head on over there. Once again, heat.press/FB group. And then the last thing I want to say, or sorry, 2 last things I want to say before we dive in to today's project is, if you want to be updated, you don't want to do like the Facebook thing, you don't want to do the Instagram thing, that's fine, whatever. Text the word HEAT, that's HEAT, to the number 20198. Again, you're going to text the word HEAT to 20198, and that's going to sign you up for our text subscriptions. You'll get a coupon code for $10 off your next order of $50 or more. Just as our little way of saying thank you for subscribing. And yeah, we're going to let you guys know anytime we have something really cool going on, whether it's a new sale, if it's a very special event like last week. By the way, big shout out to my pal Danish over at Silky Socks. He joined us last week for our special live stream. Stuff like that, you're going to get notified. You don't want to miss out. So text the word HEAT to 20198. And then last but not least, before we dive into today's topic, head on over to heat.press/live. You're gonna see our equipment that we're using today, and really quick, because I know I'm gonna get questions. And this is more for anybody watching the replay than anyone watching live, because live, we're gonna have links and all that cool stuff. But today, if you wanna see what I'm using today, as an example, we use like a vinyl systems cutter to cut this, so it's not on camera, but you heard that. That's my vinyl systems. What is this, the Edge? What I got here? I think it's the Evo that I got under the shelf, right under this one. So we have the vinyl systems, vinyl cutters. You're gonna see that. Head on over to heat.press/live to see all the equipment from Heat Press Nation that we're using today. So we have the Craft Pro 15x15 in mint. We're gonna be using some vapor heat foam. We got stuff like the Caesar squeegee, all the tools and accessories and materials that I'm using today. You can find them over at heat.press/live. Okay, that's enough jabbering from me, right? who's ready to dive into our topic for today, which, and you know it's when I bring notes on camera, you know it's serious, all right? Today we're talking about profits in, profits. Not like the biblical prophets. I'm talking P-R-O-F-I-T. Profit, money in sportswear. Profit in sportswear is what we're talking about today, and how you can make money using a vinyl cutter, a heat press, and some vinyl. Talk about the most economical way to get started in the heat transfer business. That's the way to do it. And a lot of times you'll have this equipment and you won't even know what to do or what markets to reach out to. We get this question a lot. It's like, hey, I'm getting started and I kind of don't really know, like, who do I even sell to? Like, who can I offer my services to? And springtime is here. Depending on where you're located, you may already be knee deep into Little League season, or you might be just starting off. I mean, MLB, they got started a little late, you know, because of the players' strike or whatever. But, you know, depending on where you're at today, we have some football jerseys that we're going to be showing you. Football's not coming around for another couple of months, so you have time to prep and get started. Again, depending on where you're located, I know the Little League seasons start a little earlier or later than others, but it's okay, don't worry, you're not too late to make some money this year in sportswear. So just a few tips that I kind of want to cover here, a few points I should say, and actually really quick, I want to say what's up to some of you guys. I'm over here in YouTube right now. James is saying what's up from Houston, Texas. Hey James. We got Jill from Virginia, Ashley Busey saying what's up, Mohammed saying hey from India. Oh, very cool. We are international today. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me here. Pedro saying hi. Jill says love Silky Socks live. Thank you so much for watching, Jill. I appreciate that. And John is saying let's go. Let's go. All right, I like this guy. All right. So yeah, so sportswear brings a lot of opportunities to make money. What I love is typically if you have a vinyl cutter and a heat press, you're doing maybe like one-off jobs. Somebody needs like a custom t-shirt or a low quantity job. Maybe they only need 4 shirts. Maybe it's a family reunion. They need 8 shirts, 12 shirts. It's still not a lot of shirts, but one thing that I do really like about doing sportswear, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, is numbering jerseys. So that's going to be the first thing that we're going to show you today is how to number jerseys. But I love it because you can do large quantities at once. A football team, depending again which league, if you're numbering jerseys for like a kids league, you can have anywhere from, well, hopefully at least 12. Depending on the league, it might be two-hand touch, or not two-hand touch, that's schoolyard football. You might be playing a flag football league who they're still going to want to use jerseys. So you can have anywhere from 8 to a dozen to 20 kids per team. And if you're offering a great product at a great price with a quick turnaround, trust me, the word will spread around. So it's a great time, it's a great opportunity to take advantage, and not take advantage in a bad way, but like take advantage and just make some money, like good chunks at a time. Another thing is that you're advertising yourself to every team member and the people they know. Remember, every kid, unless there's like siblings on the team, but every kid is gonna go home, wear his jersey, take it to his family, and maybe his dad or mom or whatever, her dad or mom or whoever is gonna need something. They're like, hey, they're gonna call the coach. Hey, who did the kids' jerseys? I need some t-shirts for this project, that project. There you go. So in one team, you've now branched out and you have your product in the hands of a dozen different families and their contacts. So doing work for teams, it's really great business, not only on the front end, which is, you know, not only are you making your money, your per jersey fee, but it's great advertising. Now, what you don't want to do is you don't want to write under the numbers, put made by whatever, right? If you have some time, and we're not going to show this today, you know, on the inside label, maybe, I don't know, on the inside, you know, you don't want it anywhere conspicuous, or just you can include a business card with each, you know, item, whatever, right? You don't want to advertise yourself in the back of the jersey, but all that being said, it's a great place to advertise. So it's really easy. And what's cool about it is you could just order it's all gonna be the same color. So you just order a big roll, one color of HTV, and you're good to go. So let's head on over to the table. I'm gonna prep some graphics here. And if you have any questions about what we're doing today, let me know. Give me a heads up. Let's talk about it. So check it out. Oh, by the way, so you're gonna see a few things here. Yes, you see a baseball bat. Yes, you see a helmet. And yes, we are gonna customize it, but we're not gonna get ahead of ourselves just yet. So I'm gonna scoot this over here, right? Oh, we're gonna have some fun today, folks. These are the baseball tees, but those are gonna wait for a little second. So now here we have our football jerseys. Now these are mesh practice jerseys. We picked these for a couple of reasons. The one main reason is that a lot of jerseys have a mesh, meaning they're holy. Not that they've been sanctified by the good Lord, but they just have lots of holes in them, all right? So this could often present a problem with your jerseys. We get a lot of questions like, hey, can I heat press onto a mesh fabric? And the answer is yes, you can. You can definitely heat press onto a mesh fabric. So we picked these practice jerseys because the mesh, these holes are gigantic. So if you could press onto a mesh this big, you could easily press onto a mesh that's a lot smaller. Another reason why we picked these jerseys, and I'm referring to my notes here, because I wrote down some numbers. These jerseys, we just went to our local Big Five. This practice jersey retail costs I don't think you could read that, but it costs $16.99 plus tax. Now I looked up a very comparable jersey from my wholesaler, which is S&S Activewear. I found a similar one, the Allison Athletic 712 practice mesh jersey, and that was $9.94. So just to give you an idea, there are ways to lower your pricing for your customers. If they're willing to wait for your shipment to come in, instead of paying, $17, you could pay $10. Save $7 just on the blank alone. And you could do two things. You can either pass that savings on to your customer, or you could line those pockets, baby. Ain't no shame in the game. So we have, what's cool about heat transfer vinyl as well is that you could use it on either a dark garment. So, depending on what, I'm sorry, this bat. There we go. So this is the back. So we have, if you're just numbering them, the cool thing about vinyl is that it's gonna look good whether it's on a black jersey. And we actually already did this exact graphic on a white jersey. So I'm gonna bring that over here. Look at that, huh? Pretty darn cool. Now you might see a few things here. You might notice like some dimpling where the perforated, I'm gonna talk about all that right now, but I'm sure you guys just wanna see like, hey, how the heck do we do this? How do we heat press vinyl onto a mesh jersey? So let's do it. Move this aside for a second. I'm actually gonna head back over here. All of the steps that we're taking are gonna be taken over here at our heat press today. So I'm here at my HPN Craft Pro 15-inch by 15-inch heat press. And you see this right here? This is our star. This is our MVP. This is our Vapor Apparel foam decorating kit. This is not the whole kit. Actually, this is, I think, the last piece. We cut this thing down like crazy. So you see it right there on your screen. It's $37.95. It's actually a really big roll. It's, 2 feet by 82 inches. I think that's somewhere around like 7 feet almost. It's a huge roll. And what I love is I custom cut it to fit my heat press. Now, when you're doing this, I did it for a couple reasons. One, this is a polyester material and I don't want any press marks on it. Two, that's the main reason why. So what you do is, if you ever need to custom cut a piece of foam, make sure the foam is smaller than your heat press area. So if the foam is hanging off the edge like so, the heat press is gonna get it right here and you're still gonna get a press mark on that area. The foam always has to be, or the pillow, if you're using a pressing pillow, always has to be smaller than the pressing area. Bigger than your transfer, smaller than your press, right in there. Once again, the foam, you wanna custom cut it, bigger than your transfer, smaller than your press, and you're good to go. So what I'm gonna do is, since I don't want, here's the thing about this mesh material, right? What I don't want is I don't want any of the adhesive from my transfer to stick onto the front. All right, so I'm gonna do two things. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna insert my foam inside the jersey, like so. And then I'm gonna kind of position it again, make sure that it's on the inside, not on the edge of any item. And now that that's in there on the inside, I'm gonna go ahead and reposition the jersey to make sure that it is centered. All right. There's a few ways to do this. There's a few precise ways to do this. I'm going to, for the sake of this demonstration, be eyeballing it. One thing you can do, since the collar is hanging off the edge, you can kind of just hold it up and like imagine a line right there as your center. Of course, there's a few ways to do this. You can measure how far the armpits are hanging off the edge. Again, several ways to center it. I guess I'm using a combination of all those ways. Okay, so now we have the foam placed, it's centered. One more thing is, I don't want the adhesive from my transfer to stick to the foam. Bring in my trusty parchment paper. I love this stuff. You guys seen me use it. We sell huge rolls here. I feel like I always have to give this disclaimer. Please do not use wax paper. Please, 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 please. If you want to be 100% sure, you could buy the roll of parchment paper from Heat Press Nation. But if you are going to use the regular stuff that you have on home, make sure it's uncoated, unwaxed, as plain as can be parchment paper. So I have the pillow inside, not the pillow, I'm sorry. I have my Vapor Apparel foam decorating kit inside. My words are getting messed up today. I also have my parchment paper inside. And so that's going to ensure that any adhesive that seeps through these big mesh holes, it ensures that none of it's going to stick on anything I don't want it to. It's not going to cause me any problems. My transfer is only going to stick to this side of my garment. Okay, so that should be centered. Okay. Here's a little trickaroo that I do to make sure that I know where the middle is. Right here on the bottom, I'm just going to line it up right there, make sure these pieces are centered. I'm going to pinch it right there, leave it a little crease. And then on the top, I'm just going to make sure that these pieces are centered. Am I showing that? I'm not showing that right. It's kind of hard to show on camera. See? Here we go, to make sure that those are centered. Now I'm going to pinch up here. So now I have a nice little crease, top and bottom. There's a few different ways to do that. That's how I do it. If you have cool ways to quickly find the center of your transfer, do me a favor and please share. I love hearing everybody's different methods for finding the center, cool tips for pressing. Now this transfer is currently about, I would say 2.5, 3 inches below the shoulder right here. This little area is meant for putting names. We're not going to do that today, but you very easily could using the same methods that you're seeing right now. This is about a safe distance if your league has certain regulations. And here's a tip for you. If you're taking orders for names and numbers, double check with the league. Make sure if they have regulations on how tall a letter should be or how wide a letter should be, that you're following those. You don't want to go rogue and just pretend like you know what you're doing. Always check with the league. If the league says they don't have any particular recommendations, then you can go for it. Trust your eye, do whatever you want. But again, if these are for a league, you always want to double check. Make sure you're following league regulations. Okay. Last but not least, at this point, actually, I'm going to do a twofer. So I'm going to show off, I showed off my parchment, but now I'm going to show off my Pro Grade non-stick sheet. So for the top, you could do either one. The reason why I used parchment on the inside is because if any of the adhesive from my transfer seeps through and gets on the parchment, I'm just going to throw it away. I'm just going to trash it. On the other hand, the reason why I'm not using a Teflon sheet on the inside is because if I do get adhesive on it, then I have to clean it off before I could reuse it. So that's why I have the throwaway paper on the inside. But on top, I don't anticipate anything wrong or any adhesives sticking to my top cover. So I'm okay. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm going to carefully move this back, making sure that nothing slips or shifts. Now I've already adjusted my pressure. When you're working with a pressing pillow or the decorating foam, you want to adjust your pressure so the pillow is squished to about 50% of its thickness. That's a good pressure. You don't want to smash it all the way because you could permanently smash out the foam and then you'll have to use a new piece. So here we go. I'm using Caesar Easyweed, which presses at 305 degrees for 10 to 15 seconds. I went right in the middle. I set my heat press to 12 seconds. So there it is. I'm going to carefully open this up. I'm going to pull this out. And then while it's still warm, I'm gonna peel it. Ooh, I forget, these non-stick sheets get hot. So while it's still warm, I'm gonna carefully peel it. And that peels really doggone smooth. Now, you'll notice what I did not do. I'm gonna put this back just for show. I did not peel up. Like, you don't wanna peel up. Like, that's just not the way to do it. If you want a nice smooth peel, you always kind of want to go just back and away like that. That's how you get a nice clean peel every doggone time. Now, because I am just a hair paranoid about this, and I don't want to say paranoid, it's probably not the right word. I'm just cautious. I want to make sure that my vinyl, since there are perforations and there's less material for it to adhere to, I want to make sure that it is pressed extremely well. So I'm not going to do a very long second press, but after my peel, and this is just me, this is not 100% necessary, this is just my best practice, I'm going to repress it for about 5 seconds. Just going to seal the deal, make sure it's good, and boom. Now again, I mentioned a little earlier that we're using a mesh practice jersey with a really wide open mesh. Of course, this is gonna, and you'll see it in a second. What you may see is a little bit of dimpling in the vinyl material. Because it's a thin vinyl material, you may notice that, yeah, it's gonna kind of take a little bit of the shape of the mesh. So yeah, that's just kind of the nature of it. It's a thin material. It's gonna hold though. This will hold. Now, one thing you don't wanna do is you don't wanna let this cool all bunched up or gross. You don't want to give it a stretch test until it has cooled completely. When vinyl is warm, it is kind of pliable. So if I were to like fold this in half and let it cool in that position, it'll cool with like a crease on it. Or if I did my stretch test right out of the gate while it's still hot, it'll cool in that weird stretchy gross position. So do yourself a favor and just let it cool like this. So one thing I will do is I'm gonna pull out my foam pad, but I'm gonna take this over here to the table to cool down. I'm not gonna take out the parchment paper just yet. Okie dokie. So, and you guys are gonna follow me over here in just a second. There we go. And if you see it's white, that's because I do have my parchment paper in there. I'm gonna let that cool for a second. You guys could have a really cool look at that. We're gonna peel it and finish it right now. Oh, this is a great question. Alan Bina is saying, you think schools would be open with your company logo on their jersey if you sponsor them? Print the jerseys for them for free. Feel like it could be a perfect segue into helping them with merch. Schools are usually, and this is not a cover-all answer, all right? Schools are probably gonna be less open than independent leagues. So school, maybe. Other leagues, they might for sure be a little bit more open with it. And if not have your big logo on front, maybe you could negotiate like the teams. I'm just gonna flip this over. So that's the back, right? You know, maybe you have the team name right here, but right here, you have your company logo. That's smart right there. I don't know, maybe the schools will go for it. But yeah, a nice little sponsor placement right there. Or heck, you could even work with the teams to sell. Maybe they don't sell that sponsor placement to you. Maybe they sell it to another business. You guys go half, there's 2 sponsors, right? I don't know. You know, what the heck, if the kids are getting the jerseys for free, what the heck, right? That's a great idea. Great idea, Alan. Let's see. Pedro's asking, is it polyester or cotton? Where to place the vinyl? This is a polyester, I want to say 100%. Yes, this is a 100% polyester mesh practice football jersey. And I think we're ready to take the parchment out so we can see the finished product. So again, we customized the back with a number. You could definitely put a name right here. That's what this section is for. And there we go. Broke that up. I'm gonna pull my parchment paper out. And here we go. This is super cool. This is super easy. And the cool thing about there not being a name is that this practice jersey can be reused next season for a different kid. If it's still in good condition, if it hasn't been ripped to shreds, this could be used next season. So it's a great investment for the team, and it's not that expensive. I'm gonna show the other nicer camera really quick here. There we go. So practice jerseys, again, the same process could be used for the regular season play jersey. So, and again, this really varies league by league. On the front, they may be ordering all of them, you know, especially if your league has a license agreement, like, oh, every team has like, oh, these are the Raiders or whoever, but the backs are still gonna be blank. So you may get some contracts where you're just putting numbers on the back. You might do name numbers. You might just be doing practice jerseys, but it's definitely a market that you want to reach out to. And again, this one we did earlier off camera, but you see this is the same shade of red. And that's really cool, right? Actually, I'm gonna go half and half right here, watch. It's the same, we use the exact same version of Easyweed. We use Caesar Easyweed for this. And so for both t-shirts, you see that? Both t-shirts, both jerseys, we use the same red vinyl. It pops and it looks great on both. That's what I love about vinyl. It's just, dude, you could use it for any garment. It's super cool. Okay, I'm checking in on the questions. I see Ronnie. Ronnie, I see you, homie. Like, she is kicking butt. Donald's asking, and this might be an old question, temperature setting again. So this is Caesar Easyweed, so we press it at 305 degrees Fahrenheit. I use 12 seconds. Caesar recommends using between 10 and 15 seconds. I use 12 seconds because that's just who I am. Feel free to go for the full 15 if you want. Wes, this is a great question. Wes is asking, any recommendations for durable vinyl? We use vinyl, but I don't know if I'd recommend vinyl for durability reasons. Looks good, but have found vinyl's durability is a lot more poor than silk screening. You know, so for that question, I'm gonna respond with a question myself. What kind of vinyl are you using first? What's the application process like? Are you using a good heat press, proper time, temperature, and pressure? A few questions on that. The reason why I say that though is you can't see it. You can't see what I'm wearing. I'm trying to think. Okay, hey Alex, can we cut back to the camera, to the heat press? So, if you look at this t-shirt, right? Where am I? Okay, I made this t-shirt back in 2019 for a summer, I think it was either a trade show or a conference I went to. This is vinyl. I wear this shirt every week. This shirt used to be black. Now it's like more of a charcoal gray. Heat Press Nation, baby. Yeah, okay, thank you. I wasn't gonna crouch all the way down to my knees, sorry. But so this shirt that I'm wearing right now, this is vinyl. I've worn this shirt for everything. Wear it to the gym, wear it to work. I'm not a super huge sports guy, so I haven't been playing football and I have not had people try to rip my shirt off. I am somewhat of a rock star, but nobody tries to rip my shirt off. So I don't have that much wear and tear on it, to be totally honest. But again, 2019, that's like what, about 3 years ago almost? 3 years this summer I've had this shirt and it's still going strong, being washed every week. And honestly, being washed every week in a heavy duty washing machine, you know, that could definitely hold up to what a jersey goes up to. Cause I mean, how long is the season? The jersey's only gonna go through what, like, well, if it's a practice jersey, a little bit more, but the season's, you know, 20 something weeks, maybe 16 weeks, I forget. So yeah, I think vinyl is very durable. Definitely depends on the application process and what kind of vinyl you're using. But that is a great point. And yeah, I'm not gonna deny, some vinyls out there, especially if it's like a second rate vinyl, some random Amazon vinyl, you don't wanna be using that stuff. Don't waste your time, use the good stuff, Caesar Easyweed. Okay, so that's gonna do it. I'm gonna put these to rest really quick here. And we're gonna scoot them over. I have an extra blank one for later. And so here's another really cool thing that you can do. And this is where, like, okay, so maybe you don't have the jerseys or anything like that, but you still want to get involved with your local teams. Maybe they're not official leagues, but you got some softball teams. And honestly, we're using softball as an example, but It could be a bowling league. It could be a Bible quizzing league. It could be your local chess team. Like, everybody loves t-shirts. And what I love about t-shirts is how affordable they are, how accessible the materials are, and boom, how quick a simple piece of HTV can be used to make a plain shirt look dope. This baseball shirt, we got it at Big 5. Again, our local sports supply. It's a 50-50, and it was $10, $9.99. My wholesaler has the Tultex 245, which again, S&S Activewear. We're not officially sponsored by them, but that's just who we use, or who I use. So this is not an official Heat Press Nation endorsement. Please do your own business at your own risk. But anyways, they have a 100% cotton version of this available for $4.53. Just about half the price, actually less than half the price, or right around half the price for that. So you could save on your jerseys. Of course, there's shipping, so you want to try to order them in bulk if you can. Find a wholesaler near you that offers local pickup. If that's an option, you know, do the math. It sometimes, if you only needed like 2 jerseys, it might be cheaper to go to Big 5. But if you're ordering for a team, like a dozen, you're probably going to break the free shipping threshold. And you could definitely save some big buckaroos ordering these blanks from a legitimate t-shirt wholesaler. Okay, so here we have, this is a basic example. It's a baseball t-shirt for our local softball league, the Pressers, all right? Your teams may vary, their names may vary in coolness and radness, but I mean, what the heck, that's what we're doing right now. So these are the Pressers. Again, right in this example, it's a softball team. The true reality is it could be anybody, any color. Feel free to get creative. If their colors are blue and yellow, I can almost guarantee you there's a blue and yellow baseball tee out there, or you could just get a blue one with yellow font. Get creative. There's tons of colors of Caesar Easyweed, and this is a really great product that you can offer to your customers to start making money. So I'm going to bring this back over here to our press. Now you'll notice that I'm not going to use the foam. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use the foam. We'll see. I don't believe I need to, but I just might. And once again, you see it on screen. I'm using the HP Craft Pro. I love this heat press. I really do. Now, usually when we're pressing a t-shirt, I don't like the seams to be on there at all. In this case, they cut right through. They're out here on the corner. I don't think it'll be an issue, but I don't like taking chances. I like a sure bet. So since we already have the pressure adjusted to use the pressing pillow, I keep calling it the pillow, to use the piece of foam, I'm just gonna put the foam back, and let me explain why. So I'm gonna put my t-shirt back on. Here's why I like the foam, because if any portion of the seam is sitting on the foam, it's gonna sink in like a little pillow. So this part is gonna sink into the foam, and this part is still gonna make good, proper contact with the heat press. So even though there are some thick seams that otherwise may cause some issues, they're not. Because I have the foam on there, it's gonna sink in, and this area is still gonna make great contact with my heat press. So I have my trusty Caesar Easyweed again, and I think this one's a little hard to measure center, right? Is that? Yeah, there we go. So I'm gonna press it here. Now this is where sometimes you may have to have a mock-up on your phone of the graphic, because sometimes graphics like this, they're meant to be at a slight angle. That might be the style. So just have a picture of the graphic. Make sure you have that well established before you start pressing. For the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna assume that this is the correct orientation. But again, I know some baseball leagues, they like it to have like a little angle on there. So you know what the heck, I'm gonna leave that little angle on there. There we go. I got my trusty Pro Grade nonstick. Now again, this is a t-shirt, so I don't have to put anything inside or anything like that. I'm just gonna pop this on, and you're gonna see how quick it is to make a custom softball t-shirt for my local softball team, the Pressers. It's so easy, it's disgusting. Just kidding. It's not disgusting, it's awesome. I love this Craft Pro in mint, by the way. If I didn't already have an awesome heat press, this is the one that I would get. Okay, and you heard me say it a little earlier, just peel down and away. It's that easy. It's that easy. So it's taking me, this shirt's probably been on the press now, like a minute, 2 minutes. That's just because I'm talking through my process. If I was like trying to knock out a dozen of these, it would just be boom, boom, boom. It'd be a lot faster. Probably get my process down to about 30 seconds to 1 minute per item. So here we go, and it's done. And it's that simple. It is that simple, you guys. I'm gonna put it a little closer. There we go. You can see how cool. The pressers, like this is dope. And again, you can give them one price, say, hey, I'll do the front for X amount of dollars. If you want names and numbers on the back, that'll be an additional blah, blah, blah amount of dollars. Okay, so really quick, while we're still talking about heat presses, I'm gonna mention a few upsell items. This is a regular jersey. Sometimes your team, they may want either commemorative or practice t-shirts. So you could do that. You could offer that to them. This is like a commemorative or practice t-shirt. This is so that way they could rep their team and again, their team and their teammates, their homies, when they're off the field. Super cool. If you're working with schools and your school is on a budget, you've seen this one before. If you're a fan of Heat Press Nation Live, you've seen this before. This is our Letterman Fleece. This is our Letterman Fleece. So what I love about the Letterman Fleece is this is like a sweater material. It's like a very thick hoodie material. So this is like cotton, I think it's like a cotton poly blend, but it's not the wool. All right, so I know the wool ones are like $200 wool with a leather sleeve, $200 just for the blank. I'm gonna be honest, not a lot of schools have that kind of coin. Or maybe you're in a neighborhood where the students can't really afford a $200 and something Letterman jacket. Now what you could be selling them is like maybe like a $40 or $50 Letterman fleece. So this is styled like a Letterman jacket. Honestly, this is still super cool, really great quality fleece. And then you can customize it because you can't, with the wool, you have to sew those, you have to embroider them. With the fleece, you could use something like not Easyweed, sorry. Well, you could use Easyweed. Strip Flock Pro to customize it. You could layer your Strip Flock Pro like we did here. Dude, I love this. This is one of the coolest things as far as like top dollar value, top quality. Like this is one of the best blanks I think I've ever customized here. You know, something with like a high resale value and quality. This is it. So this is a great upsell if you're working with teams or sports teams, or even if it's not even a school, if the team wants to commemorate a championship year. Dude, bare minimum $50 per fleece. I think the blank is around 18, and you're gonna be spending not a lot on materials, man, if you're just doing the front. Anyways, let your imaginations run away with you guys. I hope you come up with a lot better ideas than me. I'm just kind of here to inspire and give you guys like the first version of the plan, and hopefully you guys take it and run with it. Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. Let's see, we got any questions? We have one more project today, actually technically two. We have one more project today, but I do want to check in and say hi to everybody. Hi guys. Oh, I'm not on yet. I'll be on in a second. Yeah, so I just want to come and check in. If you guys have any questions about anything that we're showing off today, do me a favor, drop it in the comments. Even if you're not watching live, we check the comments pretty regularly, so you can check them out. Also, if you want to find out what we're using, head on over to heat.press/live. Once again, heat.press/live. You'll be able to see all the cool stuff that we're doing today. Don't go anywhere. I got one more project, and then I have a big announcement at the end of this live. So really quick here, Sandy's asking, I just got my 1620 and it came with another handle and I'm not sure how to attach or use. That's gonna be the secondary leverage handle. I really love having it. It's optional. You notice this press only has one handle. When you're at really high pressure settings, sometimes having that secondary handle is really helpful. So if you need help, do me a favor, you can give our tech support team a call at 800-215-0894, and you're gonna select option 3 for technical support. Once again, that's 800-215-0894, At the phone menu, select option 3 for technical support, or you see it there on your screen, heat.press/support. You can send us a message and someone will get back to you right away. Donald's asking, hi, how about double pressing different colors like the letter H you just showed? Yes, we call that layering. And in fact, I think we have, Alex, did we do a tutorial on that jacket specifically? We might have. Yes, I believe we do. So if you go to our YouTube channel and you just look up like Letterman, you should be able to find that. Yeah, so I think I'm pretty sure we did a tutorial specifically for that jacket. That's how much we loved that project. Okay, let's see, any other questions here? Going back to my palace over here on YouTube. Ashley says, the red looks great. The red looks good on the black. Thank you so much. Let's see. Ooh, Pedro says, my mug tumbler machine is on its way for my business. Thanks, Heat Press Nation. Yes, I hope you have a blast with that. I had a lot of fun. I'm all tumblered out. Like, I made so many tumblers here. I got to be a part of the prototype process here, so I got to test a bunch of them. And then I still do tumblers like all the time. Like, I love the tumblers. So I hope you have a blast with that. Okay, that's gonna do it for questions for now. We'll still have some more at the end, but I got one more project. Let's head back on over to the table. Okay, so here we go. We don't need that anymore. Here's a fun project that you could do. You don't even need a heat press for it. So you see this helmet, right? This is a regular baseball helmet. All right, your Little League team has tons of these floating around. And you know, I don't know if you guys ever shared helmets before, if your team ever made you share batting helmets. But with COVID, or maybe everyone's just more of a germaphobe now, like that's not happening. But how do you keep track? How do you know whose helmet is whose? You could be, you know, kind of lame and just like get a silver marker and mark up the inside. You could do all that stuff, but you know what looks really cool is when you see the player's name right smack dab in the middle on the back. So that's what we're gonna do today with a really cool a really cool product called Caesar Easyweed. So I have some items that have already been cut. Big shout out to my pal Ronnie. So I'm gonna use one of these pre-cut ones just to establish the last name. And then I'm gonna show you the full process on another one. So let's do this. Maybe we can go overhead to show, just because I'm not sure. And just so you know, I've never done this before. And there we go. So this isn't kind of an awkward piece, by the way. So if you have something to set it on, go for it. If you have a kid at home, pop it on their head and have them hold really still. Okay, so I'm gonna do my best to show you guys. So now we want a name and number right here on the back of the helmet. If you can find a good place for it on the side, go for it. On the top, not so much. You can also put it on the visor right here. This will fit in a lot of places. In fact, let's do that. I'm gonna put a last name on the visor, and then I'm gonna put the number on the back of the helmet. So here we go. Again, you can use the pinch method right here to mark center for your transfer. And what I want, and I'm gonna have to eyeball center on this, on this helmet. And if my head kind of pops into frame here, I'm just trying to get a good placement, all right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of dip it, I'm gonna drop it right at center. And I'm just gonna, from the center out, that looks pretty cool to me. So now with my thumbs, I'm just gonna apply it down. And then I'm gonna come in with my Caesar squeegee. And I'm just gonna you don't wanna scrape too hard. Oh, Ronnie's squeegee. I'm gonna go not too hard, but what you wanna do, so this product I'm using is called Caesar Easy PSV. PSV stands for pressure sensitive vinyl. So by pressing it down, I'm kind of helping to activate that adhesive, and I'm making sure that is gonna stick. This is Caesar Easy PSV permanent. So this is a very great, just top quality sticker. It'll last you all season long. And again, as I peel it off, I'm peeling off and away. I'm not lifting straight up. Dude, just like that. So now we know who's hot. Well, I mean, my head would never fit in this thing. My head is gigantic. So we have the bill customized. Again, this is permanent. I mean, if you really need to remove it and use it for next season, please sanitize the inside. But but yeah, you could very carefully, like with your fingernail, scrape it off, peel it. You might need some Goo Gone. This is a very solid adhesive. So now we're gonna customize the bag. Now I do have my number pre-cut right here. I could just slap that on, but I kind of want to show you guys how easy this is and how this works. So what you do is you cut it out in your vinyl cutter. Thank you again to Ronnie for already doing this. And with your hook tool, you're just gonna peel off. There we go. You're just gonna peel off the backing right there. And it weeds pretty similarly. Oh shoot, I messed it up. See, thank God for Ronnie pre-making some good ones for me, because in trying to show you guys what you don't want to do is ever let the vinyl fall back down on itself, because that'll make your job a lot harder. Oh, did I save it? Yes. There we go. So it weeds just like regular vinyl. Now here's the difference. We have this thing called application tape. This is a very, not super sticky, but it's a sticky clear piece of, you can call it a mask. We call it application tape. And it has a grid on it, which helps for placement. So I'm gonna do my best to place that grid right in the center. We're gonna drop it on. I'm gonna scrape it. And here's what we do. We flip it over, and then from the back, because I need to get my sticker off the paper, right? Because I want to put the sticker onto my helmet. That's done. Look how quick and easy that was. So now this part, I hope I get this right, but if I don't, I hope you guys forgive me, because ideally I would have two hands to apply this, but I need one hand to put this in place. So if you're doing this for a team, maybe get some help. And this is a curved surface, by the way, so I'm gonna kind of follow it along with my finger first. You may need to, if you're doing big letters, you may need to do it, big numbers, one number at a time. That's okay. You could even go with a smaller number. That's also okay. Position it with your finger first, and then you're gonna go in, and with the squeeze, you're just gonna scrape that in there. Try to get rid of any and all air bubbles. Air bubbles are not your friend. We're gonna pop that on there. And look, I'm talking through my process, so this is taking a little longer than it should, but even then, look how quickly we just customized this helmet. Look how cool that 12 is a little bit big, but you know what? No one's gonna forget who's padding, right? And also, again, if COVID, everyone's trying to be super sanitary and safe, we're just all getting our own helmets. Really easy to identify whose this is. And yeah, the teams probably already have their own helmets. So really, you're just gonna be charging them for labors and material, and maybe a little bit on top so you can get yourself a pizza after the big game. So I'm gonna put this right here so you guys can see. Oh no, here we go. Right there. So take a look at that. And we have tons of different colors, by the way. I'm just using white Easyweed because it's a very general purpose color. But there's lots of different, where am I? There we go. Lots of different colors available. Lots of different font styles. If you want to make your 12 look like the kids playing for the Avengers, dude, go for it. Kids are into that stuff, man. Make sports fun. I mean, sports are already kind of fun, but like, make the uniforms fun. Make the helmets fun. Like, there's so many ways to make sports fun. And honestly, if you have a vinyl cutter, if you have a heat press, I mean, hey, you have a business to run. They need to get that stuff done anyways. Make some money. in the process. Okay, so that's gonna do it. That's my last project for today. Today we're talking about profit in sportswear, and these are just a few ideas to get you started on your journey. We get a lot of questions like, hey, who do I sell to? What kind of things can I make? I'm out of ideas for a new product. Check it out. Go to your local Little League, game or sports team. Talk to your local school. See if they need any customizations done. And or just offer them to say, hey, do you need someone to number the helmets? Do you need somebody to make practice t-shirts, jerseys, all that stuff? Put together your list of items. Invest in yourself. Go online, order some samples, order some jerseys, make up a fake team name and just put it on there. That way people can see what you can do. It's definitely worth investing in yourself, trust me. That's it. Okay, I have one big announcement, but before I get to the announcement, last couple ideas. Okay, so we talked about practice apparel, fan wear. Oh, we didn't talk about fan wear, sorry. But we have fan wear, all right? Mommy's favorite quarterback, I don't know, put whatever you want on the t-shirt, offer that to the parents. Let them know that you have custom t-shirt services available. Another thing that you could do are duffels and pull-string bags. You can customize them. So that way in the mix-up of practice in the locker room, kids aren't getting mixed up their stuff with other kids' stuff. You can customize the bag. And honestly, it feels pretty cool. You're on a team, you have your own bag, your own name and number. Like, it feels legit, man. Haven't you ever noticed, I'm 13 again. Haven't you ever noticed in all the sports movies that after the team gets new uniforms, they just play better, right? It feels good to have legit gear, man. So yeah, you could do plastic drink bottles, shaker bottles. What we didn't show you was the bat. We're gonna have to film that for another episode. We didn't get to the bat today. But yeah, okay, any other questions here? Ashley says, kid and hold still does not go in the same sentence. That's hilarious. Oh man, that's funny. Okay, do we got any questions here? Very cool. Angie is saying, what type of t-shirt is that called? Oh, that's a great question. So if you're referring to, put that down for a second. If you're referring to this and you need to know what to Google either long sleeve baseball tee, 3/4 sleeve baseball tee, or raglan. That's R-A-G-L-A-N. N as in Nancy. Raglan. Sometimes they're referred to as a raglan t-shirt. That's what you're gonna wanna Google to find these. That one we got at Big Five for like $10. Like I mentioned before, from my wholesaler, the Toltex 245 is $4.53. Save some money, people. I think that's gonna do it for questions. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Well, honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure being here with you guys today. I hope you guys have a lot of fun using, hopefully using the ideas that you got from today's live. Do me a favor, don't forget, like this, if you're watching on YouTube, or even if you're not, head over to YouTube. Like this video and click that subscribe button. You see it right there, youtube.com/heatpressnation. If you want to be updated anytime we have something new going on, you can check us out by texting us. Text the word HEAT, that's H-E-A-T, to the number 20198. Once again, text the word HEAT, H-E-A-T, to the number 20198. If you're on Facebook, check us out, like our page, again, facebook.com/heatpressnation or whatever it is. But we also have our Facebook group, and honestly, can't say enough good things about the Facebook group. Amazing people, amazing help, amazing support, amazing examples. Like, dude, everyone there is super cool. I love it. I love my Facebook group members, and we hope to see you guys in there really soon. It's called Heat Press Nation Creators. Heat Press Nation Creators, and you see it there on your screen, heat.press/FB Live. I know I'm forgetting one thing, so I'm gonna refer back to my notes. Oh yeah, duh. We have something really cool. You want to stay tuned for our giveaway. I can't give you any more details, all right? Other than you'll want to go follow us on Instagram. Okay, I've said too much. But we do have a big giveaway coming up very, very soon, all right? I'm talking like probably sometime later this week, kind of soon. So head on over to our Instagram. I was about to say Facebook. I mean, Facebook too, sure. Head on over to our Instagram page. We are at Heat Press Nation. You can't miss us. At Heat Press Nation. Go follow us on Instagram and keep your eyes peeled for an update. And lastly, if you want to see some of the stuff that you saw on stage here, you want to go find it, you want to buy it, you want to try it and test it out, you can head on over to heat.press/live. Once again, heat.press/live. You can find this awesome buddy right here, the Craft Pro 15 by 15 inch in mint, which is in stock right now and ready to go. You didn't see it on stage today, but we had our vinyl systems cutters helping us out cut all this stuff. You can also find the Easy PSV adhesive vinyl. You can find the hook tool, the squeegee, the Caesar Easyweed, all that stuff and more, heat.press/live. Everybody, that's gonna do it for me once again. My name is Jared with Heat Press Nation. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a great week. We'll see ya.